Let's all laugh at the sugars. Warning, if you're a sugar, this video may trigger you. Warning, if you're a sugar, this video may trigger you. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. And yes, let's have a laugh at the sugars. We know that lots of the sugars are actually bots. Doesn't make them any less amusing, and there are some real live ones that exist. Not that many actually find their way onto my channel, presumably because I use long words which many of them struggle to understand, and that there aren't lots and lots of pictures which make it easier for them to work things out. But occasionally they get through. Sometimes I'll respond to them, not because I expect them to actually understand what I'm telling them, but as a useful opportunity for me to correct them using logic and evidence, which is something I teach you all to do with regard to your own dealings vis-à-vis narcissists. I've explained elsewhere what the constitution of the sugars amounts to. That some are narcissists, but a lot aren't. That they're just simply normal individuals that are of low cognitive function, who have picked a side, sometimes because they've been paid to do so, other times because their hopes and dreams seem to manifest in Harry's wife, and they're incapable of realising who it is they've actually backed. Those that have got brain cells and understand the situation and are used to analysing evidence realise that Harry's wife is indeed a narcissist, and these individuals can't stomach that. This means that whenever some of my videos come their way, it invariably triggers them in an entertaining fashion. And I thought I would share with you some of the instances of where they've placed comments upon my channel so that you can see the kind of nonsense that they come up with, and also my observations on the same. So without further ado, let's have a read of what some of the sugars have got to say. First up, we have Kathy Day, who wrote, "It's amazing, not, that all you YouTube channel owners can spout such drivel, when none of you channel owners actually know anything about or regarding the royal family." But of course, Kathy, it will entitle you to pronounce views about people that you know nothing about, namely me and other YouTube channel owners, once again demonstrating the hypocrisy of the sugar and the general dim-wittedness. But Kathy's not done yet, and to all such followers, let it be known, it's like some royal proclamation, isn't it, that yes, the royal family wish to discredit Harry's wife and Harry. Really? What's your evidence for this? Or are you just making a bold assertion in the way that you accuse others of doing? Being a hypocrite once again. But they didn't expect it to carry on thus far. They never expected the amplification, such as these many Forks royal non-insiders have gone to exploit an otherwise once-in-use story. Thank you for the word salad. And may you never forget Princess Diana, no, Diana, Princess of Wales. Your dim-wittedness is threatening to make my viewers ill, Kathy Day, who divorced and left the household due to her husband and his outrageous affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. That affair took place before and after the marriage of our now known king and his... I cut it off there, because this rant doesn't really need any further involvement. Next up, we have LaShawn Royale. I'm convinced, although puts an emoji face up that directly contradicts anybody that's operating with conviction, that this is Piers Morgan. Except I'm not. The obsession is insane. It's not an obsession. You and your ilk have already smashed her image. He chose her. Why so mad? Nobody's mad. You are. I'm not. I'm entirely relaxed about the situation. It doesn't concern me that Harry chose Harry's wife. Let him fall on his own sword. The ginger buffoon really doesn't trouble me. But I use her as a teaching tool, LaShawn, you see. That's something that you can't seem to comprehend. You do realise that this series suggests that any amount of DNA of a black woman can take over the entire world. Well, I have no fucking idea what on earth you're suggesting with that nonsense. I do agree, however, that the sabotage is to it is very real. Your followers fail to get the fact that a narc is going to narc at all times, i.e. gaslight, spread lies, employ flying monkeys, the goal of this obsessive series, and so on. Well, actually, my followers, my valuable viewers, understand full well, LeSean Royale, that a narc is going to narc at all times. That's why they watch this fucking channel, you clown. Because they are then able to understand about narcissism. And they understand full well your hero is a narcissist, but you don't. And the hilarious thing is that you seem to think that you understand narcissism, but you evidently don't, because you're missing the biggest narc in the room with regard to your life, and that's the one that you follow. She finishes, Piers got but hurt by her, and this is the result. If this is not actually him, he's a close adjacent associate, surely. No, you're wrong again. Notice the paranoia that's rampant with these individuals, that they just assume that it's Piers Morgan involved in this. No, I'm not Piers Morgan. I'm H.G. Tudor. I actually responded to this particular entry only a day or two ago because it was an excellent opportunity to set this person straight using logic and evidence. Next up, Carol Mark. Because of people like you waiting, chomping at the bit to degrade and drag these babies, you are waiting to compare them and spread all kinds of lies. What babies are you talking about? And degrade and drag them? Compare them? Again, more nonsense spewed by a sugar. Let's bring forth some more sugary nonsense. Diamond Dizzer. Wow, you're scary. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Are you in love with Harry's wife? Note again another sugar that can't spell her name correctly. One of the indicators of sugardom. No, I'm not, for two reasons. I'm incapable of love, and even if I were, I would not love her. I know you're a malignant SNC. It's showing BC. I stopped looking at your channel a year ago over this Harry's wife, again misspelt, obsession, not an obsession, and invoke back today to see, and you're still talking about Harry's wife, again misspelt. Yes, I think the obsession actually is yours, that you keep coming back to my channel. Like you are the obsessed stalking killer type who needs to be in the FBI watch Lost. You are scary, like Silence of the Lambs scary. You probably dream of eating her flesh at dinner. No, as I've explained, and if you actually listen to my work, I don't dream. This is beyond creepy. This is criminal. Teaching people about narcissism is criminal, is it, Diamond Dizzer? You see, once again, you demonstrate your moronic status. Plan B. You're obsessed with these two. Why don't you leave them alone? There it is, another calling card of the sugar. Leave them alone. With your overblown opinions. They're not opinions, they're observations about narcissism. I don't think you recognise what opinions actually are. You have too much time on your hands, HG. On the contrary, I don't have enough time. You're boring to me. Oh, okay, so boring that you're moved to listen to my work and comment on my channel. Evidently, you've contradicted yourself. The way you sound is boring. Really. Interestingly, if you look at all of the comments, most of them tell you that it's not that at all, both in terms of content and the tone and cadence of my voice. Blah, blah, blah. Get a life, you sorry fuck. You're always judging people. Well, yes. I'm a narcissistic psychopath. That's what I do, which I make it quite clear. At least I'm open and honest about what I am, unlike you, Plan B, that aren't open and honest about being an epsilon semi-moron. Nigger, God is going to judge you. No, he's not. Thank you. Next up, one of my favourites, Apache 5705, who I have a sneaking suspicion could just actually be Harry's wife. You'll see in due course. Breaking news. Kate Middleton fucked out of the royal family. Caught taking a shit on Camilla's bed. Charles Furious. Now, Apache 5705 is like an annoyingly irritating little urchin that's always sort of tugging at your trouser leg for attention, beating his tiny fists or her fists on the edifice that is the ultra. Repeatedly, this turd pops up like an unflushable one in the comments section, and it's invariably to rant at me about Harry's wife or to have a go at the royal family, once again demonstrating the nastiness of the sugars with the vitriol that they spew themselves. Finally, Maxina W. tells me, stop deciding people dislike Harry's wife. Fool. I'm not deciding that people dislike Harry's wife. They make that decision themselves. Something they're capable of. Evidently, you're not, as I understand, Maxina, that you have Velcro on your shoes because you can't even tie your own shoelaces. Next up, we have John Starr. You people, rather haughty, are spending way too much time and energy to hate Harry's wife. Again, the false accusation of being a hater when the evidence doesn't show that. I'm sure that many of you self-serving and self-righteous hypocrites will cite this for the greater good of mankind, right? Once again, notice that this individual, John Starr, who doesn't know any of you people, immediately passes judgment on other people, saying you're spending way too much time, you're haters, you're self-serving and you're self-righteous hypocrites. The only hypocrite that's being demonstrated here, John Starr, is you. Susan Sharp pops up, so sick of your ignorant posts. Yes, so sick that you're moved to keep watching my videos, Susan. Thank you for doing so. AC, imagine spending your day making videos about HRH Princess Harry's wife. Well, again, typical of a sugar, can't even get the title correct, idiot. And the jealousy is sky high. No, it's not jealousy, it's envy, and nobody's envious. Apart from you, of the fact that you're the one that doesn't have much of a life, and that you have to throw all your hopes and desires into following a liar, namely Harry's wife. Benita C. Are you in love with her or something? LOL. Well, the fact that you've put LOL at the end of your sentence demonstrates that you don't take yourself seriously, Benita C., and neither will I. Here he comes again, or she comes again. It's Apache 5705. She can wear what she chooses without being bullied by a slob like you. Thank you for judging me. I'm not a slob, but of course you throw around your ad hominem insults, Apache 5705, because you have no intellectual substance to anything that you write. Big Talk Podcast with Rosalind. Over 20 videos with her headline name is definitely weird as fuck. No, there's way more videos than that, but they're immensely popular, and they enable people to understand narcissism. I give the people what they want. Big Talk Podcast with Rosalind, something that you're clearly incapable of doing. She follows up, ATP, this is a smear campaign. No, it's not. But if you keep on accessing my work, you'd understand what it is. John Starr's back again. Leave the woman alone. Yes, the another squawk of the sugars. Get out of their marriage. I wasn't aware I was in it. When did that happen? Did I end up marrying Harry's wife and Ginger Bollocks? Goodness me. My memory's very good, but I must have had an amnesiac moment there. Get out of their marriage. What is this madness really about? Is it for content, relevance, and money? No, it's for the prime aims, which, if you listened, rather than ranting all of the time, you would understand. You nasty bastards, scraping the bottom of the slimy barrel. The couple have been married for 4 years. Move on. No. They claim privacy. But they don't actually want that. They claim it, but don't live it, and therefore they keep popping up, and thus they will continue to be commented upon, John, in the way that you feel free to comment about me and my viewers. And there continues to be more. Victoria de la Bollée tells me, pathetic John. Now, I'm not sure if she's referring to me thinking that I'm called John. I'm not. Or she's suggesting that I'm a client of a prostitute. I'm not. A prevent mock court to get Camille A in line and a quick hack video to plea for your cultists to have Catherine to side with you instead of, say, Diana. Weak. Get out now or it will be unpleasant. Okay, well, keep off the drugs. Take the meds, I would suggest. Not quite sure, but you're all being called cultists, my valuable viewers, so let's all meet up and sacrifice something, shall we? A completely Fruit Loop comment there. Here comes Fifi. Harry's wife 0.1. Why is HG constantly? No, you don't understand the use of the word constantly. Perhaps a little bit like the one that you worship. You don't really understand the meaning of words. Constantly is the earth turning. Constantly is breathing. What you might mean is repeatedly. Learn the difference. Why is HG constantly smearing the family of Ginger Bollocks? I'm not. What, do you mean King Charles and Prince William? Do you mean that family? The one that he has treated very badly? If you're talking about his immediate family in terms of his children, I merely talk about their existence and the speculation about their non-existence. But that's it. I don't pass comment upon their appearance, what they'll achieve in life. I merely comment upon what's reported in the news. So I don't see how that's smearing. With regard to Harry's wife, nor is it smearing. It's simply explaining her behaviours through the prism of narcissism. But you carry on getting it wrong. Why has Harry's wife been painted black? She hasn't. Essentially, she's there to be utilised for the purpose of example and being used excessively for cash. Well, maybe you're referring to the yacht allegations when you're talking about being used excessively for cash, and if you are, you're directing that query to the wrong person. AC. HRH Princess Harry's wife, another one who can't get a title correct, is perfectly fine. If you go online these days, everyone's called a narcissist. LOL. No, they're not. Everyone isn't called a narcissist at all. In fact, the level of knowledge about narcissism is still woefully low. It's increasing, but it's still woefully low. And again, the fact that you use LOL at the end of your sentence demonstrates you're not somebody who should be taken seriously. Such an overused and useless term. LOL is. I'll agree with you about that. Princess Harry's wife, getting it wrong again, is a shining beacon of hope and humanitarianism. Yes, you're obsessed with her. I would suggest it's the other way around, given that if you think that she's a princess and that she's an HRH and you think that she's a beacon of hope and humanitarianism, you're the one with the problem. Victoria's back, and she tells us, I wrote a letter to Harry at Frogmore at his place years ago. I said that he ought to cease doing these Zoom calls online. His mother's investigation and my book were a priority, and if I could be there within a patronage, that would be excellent. I would live stream while writing, and if he came by for a moment off camera here and there, that would be more popular and positive than what he is doing. They steal every idea I say. Yes, I said were it my stream, it would have been extremely popular and good for his mother. But now he dumped his mum for a pacifier and his cousin for a few extra toilets that are going the way of Netflix now. Sigh. I will not hear your video, as this is dull topic. Right. I think really that's best left where it is. There's a lot of things going wrong in there, one can clearly see. So, I trust that you've enjoyed laughing at the sugary individuals that come my way. All goes to demonstrate, of course, low cognitive function, obsession with Harry's wife themselves, and oodles of hypocrisy and projection. But there will be more ahead. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.